That's nice camera. Is that an iPhone?
Yes, that's an iPhone.
Well, which one?
I think this is 13.
Yeah. All right. Mr. DeMille.
Good morning, Grandpa.
You shouldn't call me Santa Claus.
You look like Santa.
Yeah, that's what I get a lot.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Brian.
Mr. Brian, where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
Where are we here?
What's that? We are at Pan Pacific Park in Los Angeles
How long you been in this city?
since 1983. 42 years.
How long you been sleeping on the streets?
2 years, 8 months.
How did you end up?
I got a long-term COVID symptom called hyperosmia, which is a distorted sense of smell, a heightened sense of smell. And over time, I also developed MCS, which is multiple chemical sensitivity, which means I have a distorted, heightened sense of smell towards chemicals, which caused me to lose my apartment because I didn't realize what was happening to me. I thought I was going crazy. I thought everybody else was. I smelled chemicals. I smelled real bad smells that most people don't know exist. And I didn't know where they were coming from. And I thought the neighbors, yelling at the walls. I lost weight. I was pointing a lot until they figured out what was wrong with me. But I had lost my apartment by then because I had to leave. I was causing so much of a problem.
Are you still smelling everything?
Yeah. That's why I'm out here in the park. Because I need open areas. I can't be I can be in buildings, but not for long. I smell, and then with this area has a really bad, the opioid epidemic, which is the fentanyl. I smell fentanyl. I don't, it doesn't itself have a smell to it, but when it's heated and burned and smoked, the smell, it creates a lot of chemical compounds that I smell. So I can smell, and I smell for hundreds of feet away. So it's all day long, all night long, smelling some of the worst smells you can imagine. Smells I've never smelled before. Worse than anything that I can remember. That's why I'm homeless.
What was your your worst experience as a homeless? What was your worst?
The worst experience. Wow. I mean, I've been attacked. I've been choked out. The worst experience. Let me get back to you on that. I have to think about that.
Were you attacked while you were sleeping?
No, I was attacked when I was wide awake. Lots of people saw it. It was by somebody I actually hadn't known for a minute. This was quite a long time ago. And, I was also robbed at knife point from my tent, about 2 years ago while I was sleeping on the beach. They took my tent, people with, switchblades, which was pretty bad. I mean, I didn't get hurt, but it was humiliating. I just had to give it up. And, yeah, that was pretty bad.
They took everything?
Not my bag and stuff. They just came and took I could have fought them, but I would have lost. And, there was nobody around. It was on the beach. So it was late at night. I just had to give it up. I had to walk away. A fight. It wasn't worth fighting.
How do you get by every day? How do you get by every day?
Play a lot of games on the phone. I've learned how to make some money on, not illegally, but playing, fun games that everybody plays on the phone. They give money.
You earn from playing games on the phone and you get by?
That's how I get by time-wise. Financially, no, I don't make a lot of money. I mean, like $1,000 last year, $2,000 or so dollars, which helps. Just for time we have a lot of time, a lot of wasted time. So I'm either in the library, charging my phone, reading paper, or watching people, or watching a lot of people. I also am an artist, so I paint. And lately I've been painting animal portraits of pet owners and stuff in the parks. And they pay me, so it's like a buy.
When did you develop this talent of painting? Have you had it long?
Since I was a child, and I went to college for it. I have a degree in fine arts, and that was what I did as a living. I was an artist, and then I became a game maker, a video game maker, and got into making a lot of video games.
What games you worked on?
A lot of RPG games. I'm one of the more important ones was a series called Might and Magic, and then Heroes of Might and Magic for a company called 3DO, which I was one of the artists on it. And so I'm in IMDb, I'm in Wikipedia, because it still has a huge following 20 some years later, and it's amazing. Yeah, so I don't get any more money from it, but it's amazing.
A little side note here. What do you think about the video games generally? What's your attitude to
I
it?
don't follow them anymore. They're amazing. I mean, I never was a gamer. I mean, I would play the ones we make a little bit because we had to get familiar with them. I was too busy making them. I didn't have time to play them. And I used to play console games. I used to play Nintendo games and stuff, but that's way, way a long time ago. I'm good at the app games though. I'm really good. But that's a little different.
Where else have you traveled besides Los Angeles?
I've been all over Europe. I've been to South America. Was in Colombia during COVID. At Medellin. I've been there twice. I've been to Panama, Mexico. And that's pretty much it.
You say you went to the Berlin Wall?
I was at the Berlin Wall back in 1988, the year before it fell, and it's amazing. I mean, you had to go through East Germany with the sentries and the dogs and to check the papers to get to West Germany. And West Germany was so different back then. It's a hot spot. Everybody was having fun. But you're in the sea of East Germany, and it was, you can see over the wall. You can see how gray everything was. And East Germany was gray and lifeless. And then on West Germany side everything was like great. It was westernized. Yeah. And it was snowing a lot when I was there. It snowed really hard when I was there, so I remember that. And there was a big park right there where the wall was, which was my last name, Kemper Park. And I thought it was kind of cool.
What's your last name?
Kemper.
Mr. Kemper. So what was the sentiment when the wall was about to fall?
I watched it on TV like everybody else, but it was incredible because I was at those places where they were showing TV, people tearing down the wall, and I remember those places. When I was there were sentries yet in between the no man's land, between the wall. It was two walls really. There was you'd have to cross a wall, and then you run across a big area called no man's land or something, and then there's another wall that you had to get through. So when I was there, went on the platform so you could see over it, and they still had the guards going up and back and forth. It was still in force, so I saw it was still functioning, and then watching it just fall was amazing. I mean, I wish I would have been there for that too, but it was about a year after I was there.
They were shooting people that were trying to run between the walls.
Yeah, there was a whole museum right there called Checkpoint Charlie's. I think that's what it was called, showing how over the years, how people tried to get through, like tried to sneak through. They put suitcases side to side and put a person inside the suitcases, and it was a whole museum dedicated to the people that got shot and how some got through. It was amazing, yeah.
How old are you?
I turned 60 this year.
What have you learned in 60 years?
That I know nothing. I thought I knew everything at 20. I thought I knew everything. And the older you get, the more you realize you know nothing. The less you know. And I believe all the way to the very last minute you're alive, you realize at that point you know absolutely nothing. Because the world's a lot bigger than you ever thought it was when you were 20. And it's a lot tougher and a lot more complicated. I mean, that's how.
You have any beliefs? Do you believe in anything?
He waits his path.
Okay, we'll let it pass. Trying to save somebody.
Beliefs. Spiritual?
Yes, sir.
Or just any kind of beliefs? I used to be spiritual. Since this whole COVID thing happened to me, I've become a lot less spiritual because it's just too hard. With nobody helping me about that's how it feels. So my belief system has changed, and now it's just here and now, and whatever's here and now is what I have to deal with. But I don't get to look to the future anymore because this condition's not going away, and the chemicals aren't going away, and I've got to get away from this area. I got to get away from people. The doctors I went to and specialists said, you got to move, you got to leave, you got to find a small town, some out of the way place where you have no neighbors, where you have nobody, but a little town. And I can't do that with no money. And so I'm stuck here, and it's getting worse, and I'm just watching everything crumble. I lost everything to something I'm not even part of. I'm not even part of fentanyl. But I lost everything. I lost my possessions. I lost everything. And, that's about it. It's not going away.
Sounds like you need like a Jamaican wooden house
What is that?
in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah. Or go someplace like, the desert or Utah. I don't mind living alone, and I don't mind being isolated. In fact, I would like that, but I can't afford that. It takes money. I mean, you have to have,
Yeah.
somebody to pay for it, and I have no way of doing that.
How is the smell of wood? Are you
The
able
smell
to?
is the most repulsive. I smell over 60 kinds so far, 60 different kinds, analogs. I categorize them in my head different ways because I really have nothing to go off of. There's the sewage, the burnt, raw, bad sewage smells, and then there's a sweet sewage smell. These are categories that I put them in. And then there's another one, chemical, like you're eating insulation, pink insulation, and it burns, and I have a very physical reaction to it. Within seconds of smelling it, and my tongue goes numb, the inside of my mouth goes numb, my nose starts burning, my eyes start burning. Within a few minutes, more symptoms start up. I can start to head it really quickly. Sometimes I cough, but lately I'm having a hard time breathing when I'm smelling it because I get my adrenaline starts picking up, not because I'm upset, but because it just triggers it. And then my kidneys start hurting. So I have the whole reaction. And when it stops, these symptoms taper off and stop. And then it'll start again next time somebody takes a puff or something. And it just goes on all day and all night. And it's done for not 4 years, 3 years, without a day off. And I can't get any relief because I'm the only person so far that I've met that's going through it. It's so rare. I went to AI. AI has been helping me figure stuff out. It says I might be one in a billion people. And went to Social Security, the government, to try to help me. I went to the mayor, I've written to the mayor, council members, American Lung Association. I mean, I've done it all, and nobody's helping me. So I don't see a lot of spirituality there. Because I don't believe in a higher power. Because why am I going through this and nobody else? Why I've never been involved in that. Why am I suffering because of other people's problems? And that's why I sleep outside, because I gotta breathe. And it's still not the best place, but it's better than inside.
Just a thought, an idea. Can you smell people, their intention? Can you smell good people and bad people? Do you have something
No,
like?
I can smell homeless people. I can smell people that there's different levels of. I have trigger smells. With this condition, from my research, some people have different trigger smells. Some people smell perfume, fragrances distorted. I don't smell those things distorted. I smell chemicals, body odor, and let's see another one. Like certain kinds of sativa pot are really bad trigger smells for me. You don't get to pick the trigger smells. It's what happens. And, like I can tell there's like 4 or 5 degrees of body odor. And I don't mind the body odor. The body odor is nothing compared to the chemicals. I mean, it's repulsive. I can tell when people have been sitting somewhere and have left, they leave their scent. I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's just normal to me now. I mean, it's just what it is. I can smell chemicals 600 so far. I've tested 650 feet away. Second you get there, there's smoke. I can smell chemicals coming off of people that have been done smoking a long time ago, and it's coming out their pores. I can smell through walls. I can smell through floors of a building. 2, 3 floors away, I smell 650 feet is 2 football fields in every direction. And now, as humans, you smell 2 smells at a time. You smell a dominant smell in your environment, and then you smell all the other smells combined to make a secondary background smell. So the dominant smell is always the worst, strongest smell, and that's the chemicals. And then the background smells everything else. I can smell flowers, but they smell normal to me. They're not real powerful, but the chemicals are just, it's just like a punch in the face all day long. It sucks. It really does. Because nobody else is smelling it. I'm looking around and everybody's happy and having a good time, and I'm just in that twilight zone going through this. And I don't say much anymore because it's hard to get people to understand because they don't smell it. And it's this stupid thing. But it's going to kill me. You can tell. It's wearing me down.
When you go to the beach, how is it feeling?
The beach, I thought would be an open area place like that, but it wasn't. I mean, I was spending my nights on the beach, and I'd sleep there in my sleeping bag, and I'd be the only one out of cars I could see at nighttime, except for a couple people here and there in clusters, And if the smoke, and even with the breeze coming off the ocean, everything, it comes right into my nose. I mean, it goes right into my face, and I'm not sure how that all works. It's just I'm hypersensitive to it. I'm hypersensitive to chemicals, formaldehyde, hydrogen cyanide. I'm hypersensitive to formaldehyde, I believe. I just can't, there's no control in that. I can have my ability to smell removed. That's not going to get rid of all the other symptoms I get from it, but I won't smell it no more. But we have that for a reason, to alert us to danger, and bad smells alert us to bad food. They alert us to fires. They alert us to bad smells. We have that reaction for a reason. And I don't want to remove mine because then I won't be able to taste food either anymore. So I'm not just, there's no way out. There's no medicine for it.
Anything you could control at all? Can you suppress anything?
Even I've tried everything. I've been reading, chew peppermint gum, juice, anything, anything. No, I just have to get up and leave when I smell it. If I can't take, because there's different degrees of intensities, and when it's really bad, I can't breathe. And of course, I have to get up and quickly grab my stuff and leave. and try to walk away from it. And some of the smells, people doing something here, doing something there, doing something hundreds of feet away. They combine into an invisible cloud bank of it, and it lingers. It doesn't go away for some time, and then it's just wall to wall smell after a while, and it's not the comfort of the odor anymore. I can't breathe. And it scares me, and my adrenaline starts picking up, and I really, because you're gonna start choking, and I'm worried that the new normal keeps changing for me, and it's getting. Sooner or later, it's going to be asphyxiation. I'm going to have an EpiPen or something because it's just going to keep going until it gets to there.
A lot of people smoke, as you say, fentanyl, and they smoke other stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about the drugs? What do you think about them?
Oh, I'm at war. I mean, in my head anyway, because this should be handled totally different on the government's end, but I have no say in it. I see it from a totally different viewpoint. These are victims. These are predators now. People using predators.
Say the
They're
louder.
not victims anymore, to me. At this point, everybody's been looking at us. They're victims. They didn't know what they were doing. They got caught up in something now. The cartels. No, these people now know what they're doing. They're choosing it. They're vaping it. It's everywhere. And I've become so victimized by it that these people are the enemy. Not all of them. I like some people that do it. And I don't like them because they do it. I just don't hate them. Some people, though, all they're focused on is that, and they don't care who they hurt. And I'm not the only one suffering from it. I know there's kids suffering from it, even though they don't smell it. They're breathing the same air I do. There's no way we're breathing different air. And I'm getting sick from it, and I'm really getting sick. And they're getting sick too. They just don't know it, So that's how I look at it. I'm alone in this, and it just sucks.
As an idea to switch the fentanyl and all the hard drugs with the weed, do you think is an option?
No, I don't think I'll ever see in my lifetime that they'll get rid of it. I mean, they have never gotten rid of anything. Any war on drugs, nothing. They've not gotten rid of coke or meth or whatever. It's all there yet. I just have to remove myself from it because I can't live like this. I think the government isn't aware of how bad it is. Because I am like the one person that can tell how bad it is without seeing it. You don't know it's existing. I don't have to see it. I can be blindfolded. And the magnitude of how many people are doing it, I can walk past buildings and tell you what apartments it's coming from. I can tell you where it's several people. I can tell you where the dealers are because of the smells. And it's just ridiculous how many people are doing it, and the government isn't aware of how many people are really doing it. I mean, I put it in a lot of people. I mean, I've tried. I don't have to see it, and that's all. Cops, whatever, they all have to see it to do something about it. I don't see it hardly ever. I smell it like everywhere because it's not out in the open. So I'm one of the only people that knows how bad it is. It seems there's no other way to tell. I don't know how they would tell. It's everybody. I see all kinds of people. I can tell you people. I can sit here and watch people walk by, and I'll tell you which one do it. And you can look at them and go, "Wow, that's an old person. That's an 80-year-old person. That person's smoking it. That's a 15-year-old. That person's smoking it. Those look like nice kids. They're high, or were high, or were smoking it. There's no doubt because it's so strong. I can detect it. And you'll be surprised how many people out of 100 go by that I'm pointing out, and then you go, wow, that's a lot of people. You multiply that times the population, it's a lot of people.
Is the smell of marijuana as
Marijuana
potent?
is the least of my worries. It's certain kinds of sativas. Sativas and indica are two different major kinds of marijuana. Some sativas, it's not that I don't like it because it's so strong. It comes into my brain, and it just quickly it makes my eyes tear up. It's so bad. I used to smoke a lot before this happened, and it never even fazed me before. And now it's just I have to really get away from it. that was one of the first trigger smells I had. So that started this pot. And then I was introduced to fentanyl. It's called being introduced when you're around a big amount of it at a shelter I was staying at, Path Shelter, 3 years ago, where everybody inside the dorms was smoking it. I didn't even know what it was at the time. And then it just became this intense nightmare. And that's how I started. That's how that started. So it went from just pot was triggering it to then the fentanyl took over. Fentanyl, the smell of fentanyl is way worse than pot. Way worse, way stronger.
Question, how can people help or the city help? What are the basic necessities the homeless man or woman will need that we could do?
You need to sleep. They got to stop keeping us from sleeping. It's inhumane what they're doing to us now. Recently, in the last year, Newsom started saying you don't let them sleep anywhere. They can't have tents. They can't have blankets. You can't be asleep. You can't spend the night in parks. They treat prisoners of war better than that. The Geneva Convention wouldn't let this stuff happen. Now, with the government shutdown, we weren't sleeping and we weren't eating. We're the lowest person on the totem pole, and there's no food for us, so that people don't have to pay higher health insurance premiums. What does that have got to do with us? And not one person came out of their house and helped and was handing food out that I saw. And it's just like, wow, Newsom is just the worst right now. He has not been able to solve the homeless problem. He's promised he was going to solve the homeless problem. He tried, and he gave up, and they just started bulldozing everybody. And then you go into the shelters, which I do go into a shelter. You can't be in there because all the people that were in the encampments are now in there partying because it's an open door. Newsom has an open door policy, meaning they don't have to be rehabilitated. They don't have to get off drugs. He just wants everybody to get inside so you don't see him out in the street anymore. And now you got these shelters that are toxic for people like me. You go in there and you can't imagine how bad it is because there's nobody saying they can't be evicted for even using drugs in there. It's an open door policy, and it's nuisance policy. It's lawlessness, and it's like, wow, where are we? Because I'm not protected. I go in there and I can't spend the night, and I'm losing my chances at getting housing because I'm not able to, because nobody else goes through this. So Newsom is a really big problem. And I liked Newsom before this. And now he just turned on everybody. And that's what they let us sleep. Make sure we have some food. Even when we have food stamps, it's not enough. It's $9 a day. And they just jack their prices up at places like 7-Eleven that you get one sandwich and 2 chips and a little drink a day. So it's not complaining, but come on. This is the United States of America. Get over this. We're not the enemy. We're the victims of a housing market crisis. There's different kinds of homeless people. There's big group. There's homeless people that are out here because of the crisis, the housing problem, and because they got evicted. And then there's the people out here partying. Two different kinds. Those are the feddies. Everybody thinks we're all in that group, and we're not. Some of us are out here because there's no housing that's affordable. That's not changing. We didn't cause it. We're victims. And then we get victimized even further by the government now, treating us like crap out here. Get us housed. I mean, really. It's no sense.
What do
I'm smelling it right now, by the way. It doesn't matter.
No, we're gonna remove all those
No,
noises.
I don't need to move. I'm just telling you. No, I can take it. It's just, I'm just telling you, it's a lot. It's not. So.
What a regular person can help you with? A cell phone, a toothbrush, socks. What do you need? Regular.
Personally, I don't, I need a van, a camper or a van, because for me, that would be ideal to go out to the desert and live. I don't mind living like that. I can breathe out there, but you're talking small things, regular person. No, we get that kind of stuff. It's just, electricity sometimes is a problem for us. Like Sundays, we don't have places to charge our phones. We don't have, the libraries are closed and, places like that. That's something that people can't fix really, but because as soon as we find an electrical outlet that nobody knows about, they shut it down. As soon as they see us using it, it's just so ridiculously mean. But because we need phones too, we need communication.
You need a job, you need a cell phone to apply for it.
Yeah, and your housing coordinator or your caseworker needs to call you. They can't get a hold of you because your phone's dead. And I mean, it's logic. You got to help us with that. But they don't. They make sure we don't have electricity. And as soon as they see us using anything quickly, this community wants to cut it off because they don't want people gathering and they don't want problems. And we're not the problem. The problem's the housing shortage. And fentanyl is the other half of the problem. Our problem is because of people 30 years ago didn't city plan well. They didn't plan the growth of the city, and this is why we're here. And now we're suffering on top of suffering. It sucks because it's not going to end. And then with the government right now cutting back on all programs, there's no hope. I mean, it really isn't right now. Hopefully it'll change. But we're not going to be off the street anytime soon. We're just going to be stuck in shelters like rats because it's toxic in there and we're going to die in there. I mean, it's really bad. Somebody just died on the first floor. I live in I'm in this old hotel. It doesn't have air conditioning. It doesn't have central HVAC. It does nothing. Somebody OD'd down on the first floor. I mean, so the open door policy, getting them in doesn't save them, doesn't save me because it's killing me from everything coming in. And it's like, and then I sleep out in the park and we risk getting arrested. Because cops can arrest you and they're not all like going to do that right away, but they won't let you sleep. That's their job,
So you got arrested for sleeping in the
No,
park?
I got caught. And they said they will arrest me if they catch me again, but they actually were quite helpful because they did help me get into the shelter, which wasn't a good idea, but it didn't seem at the time. But so I'm not saying they're not trying to help, but they're not there to do that. That's not their job. We're not allowed to be outside sleeping at night. You can't be in a tent, which means sleeping bag, which means blanket, or you'll get arrested. And Newsom goes on the air saying, I want the cities and towns to start arresting these people. He really is awful. I mean, letting him run for president of the United States would be the biggest mistake. Because he
Oh, I
just
see what you
promises
say.
whatever he wants and then turns on it on a dime, and you're just going to replace one person for another bad person. That's not a good idea. But anyway, yeah, he's just. As far as the fentanyl thing goes, we passed a proposition last year, Proposition 36, that included this chopping thing and also fentanyl and stuff like that. And he didn't like it, and he's just not funding it. So we passed it, and he refuses to implement it. And it's like, wow, why is he allowed to do that? People spoke, and he just doesn't want it. Now, you're going to put that person in the president, it's going to be kind of like we have now. I don't know. We're not going to get anything better. We're just getting the other side's worst version. And it's like, it's fucked up.
Any questions I haven't asked?
No.
What is your relationship with the reindeers one day a year when you have to distribute the gifts?
My birthday? What?
No. What's your relationship with the reindeers? One day.
Oh, that's funny. That's real funny. I wish I was Santa Claus, man. I'm not. But I am getting as fat as him this year. I decided. So I'm here for parties. Anyone will hire me out, and I'll be Santa for your kids. I'm just kidding. That's right.
I really want you to. I feel like I'm sorry to say that at the end, but I feel like this is a rare gift for you to know every smell and where is it coming from. Maybe you will find that job in life that will have a calling on this one.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But I don't want you to. I want you to find hope, man. I don't want you to lose hope.
I've lost all my hope. So I'm just existing right now. It just goes where it goes now. Now I have no control over it. I have no control over any of it. All this is just happening. I just got to just stay alive. So it goes.
Thank you, Mr. Brian.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.